Hello, everyone.
Welcome, everyone joining. I see that we have in the streaming around 70 people. So we'll give you a few more minutes just to join us, scanning the QR code that you see on the screen. Or you can also go to menti.com and insert the code that you see at the top of your screen right here. We would love to hear where are you joining from today. I see that a few of our beloved customers are already here with us. Hey there, thanks for joining. Very good. You will have the opportunity to join us at any time. The code will continue appearing at the top of the screen, and well, in the following slides, you will also have at some point the QR code just to join us. Welcome, everyone. So, without further ado, let's get started. And welcome to this webinar called Getting Started with Mentimeter for Educators. My name is Marlene Montes de Oca, and I'm a customer success manager at Mentimeter. I'm specialized in working with higher education institutions like the ones that you work with. And it's my pleasure really to bring all of the expertise and the experience that I have working with all of these universities around the world. And well, today we want to just give you some boost and energy and some inspiration now that the semester, maybe for some of you, has already started or is about to start in the coming weeks. And well, we would like to be part of that journey this fall. So please, if you haven't done so, scan the QR code that you see right now on the screen, and you also get the code that you see at the top of the screen in case you want to join us on the desktop. And just give me some thumbs up to see that you are already here with us, and then we continue to the next slides. You will get the recording in case that for some reason you need to leave at some point. You will always get the recording and these slides afterwards. Maybe you get some inspiration from the workshop that we will have today, and you can absolutely still with pride just copy to your Menti account and get started from there. And you see also that right next to the thumbs up icon, you have a chat icon. There you can always drop your questions. My dear colleague Austria will be there helping you to sort those questions just in case that we have some duplicates. And you will also be interacting with her on the chat if that's what you prefer. Very well. So I hope that you all, the 90 people that is streaming right now, it's already here with me in the Menti presentation. And well, let's get started. First, I would like to hear from you. What is it that your experience with Mentimeter? Maybe this is your first experience, or you have only been a participant like today, casting your vote. Maybe you have used it a few times already, or maybe you are also a Menti wizard and you used it all the time. Cast your vote, and you get to see that right now I have all of the answers hidden. So we have a counter on the right side of the screen that let us know how many people has already responded out of the total audience that is with me here in this Menti. This is a really cool tip that you can use also in your lessons. Just press the letter H to hide or show the results at any point of time. Very well. We have more than 50% of the responses, so let's see how this looks like. Very nice. I'm always happy to see that we have some Menti wizards. You can always share your tips with your peers in the chat. And if you find some of these tricks that we're going to show today, we would love to hear and see your thumbs up also. I see that we also have newcomers, and this is your first experience today with Mentimeter. So hopefully by the end of this session, you will be more inspired and willing to use Mentimeter in your work. And for those that only have been a participant, hopefully you get out of here some inspiration and, well, some ideas on how to get started. All right. let's move in then. Let's set some expectations. So, what is it that we are going to review today? And let's start with uncovering what's really the power of Mentimeter. Let's understand what's this tool for and what can you expect as a result of Mentimeter in the classroom. We will also review some of the common challenges for educators and passing right away into how Mentimeter can address some of those challenges with some practical examples. We like to focus on these topics, the ones that are listed here: turn presentations into conversations, close learning gaps, and boost flexible learning. After interacting and having these deep conversations with our customers around the world, with very top and well-renowned universities, we get to understand that these are probably the ones, the topics that are you educators struggle the most in this day and age. I don't want you to let you go this day without seeing how friendly it is to use Mentimeter. So we will have a very short demo to get all together a visualization on how to create your first slide, and hopefully that will also give you the inspiration to just, if you don't have your account yet, to just get on with it, sign up or log in if you have been there with us for a while, and well, just get started with Mentimeter before the semester starts. And as a reminder, you have our Q&A icon right here on the bottom of the screen, so you can always drop your question there. We'll make sure to answer all of your questions at the end of this session. We'll have 10 minutes to work on those. Very good. So let's go for it and start with the power of Mentimeter. And for that, I would like to hear from you. Which of these ones are the ones that require the most effort from you as an educator? Could it be maybe to keep the students engaged along the whole course, to test the knowledge halfway through the course, or to create maybe your own materials and presentations? We know that part of being a professor in higher education is also to create and keep innovating on your lessons and the materials that you work with. So let us know, what is it that requires the most effort from you? Very good. Let's see what your peers are saying. And as you can see right now, we see the highlighted results, which are the average of your casted opinions and votes. And we get to see that to keep the students engaged is one of the questions that maybe you struggle the most, together with creating your own materials and presentations. If I hover over these questions, you will see also the distribution of these votes, and we see also a good range between low effort to high effort in all of these questions that we have asked you. So this is something also that can give you a good idea of where the audience is when you're trying to assess this type of questions. Like today, we're trying to find what is it that is the most difficult part of being an educator today. All right, so student engagement seems to be the one that the majority is struggling in this day and age as an educator. So to Mentimeter, we can address this challenge, and well, let's get to see how. Mentimeter is an interactive presentation platform, and notice how we're not only talking about or highlighting the part where we add polls or questions like the ones you just responded, but it's really one place where you can bring all of your content and all of your materials to present in one place. This may add a smoother presentation, right? A better delivery to your students, instead of maybe toggling or changing screens to several tools. You can bring it all to Mentimeter, and on top of that, you can add this interactivity factor, where you turn your lessons in a conversation, in a group activity where the students take an active part of their learning. Mentimeter is and will continue to be anonymous by default. This is in a spirit of creating an environment where all of the opinions are heard, and where all of the voices feel safe to cast their true selves. However, we have also addressed one of the needs that our higher education customers have shared with us that they have, and is the possibility of removing this anonymity. Now you can in Mentimeter uh, remove this part and collect the names of your students if that's what you need, maybe to facilitate, for example, the part of tracking for attendance, or even to have learning journeys tracking in a smoother way. Mentimeter is supporting presenters, and in this case, yourselves, educators, to drive, analyze, and scale on engaging lessons, meetings, and surveys. We want to highlight not only the part where Mentimeter is used in the classroom, but I'm pretty much sure that all of you work in teams beyond the class. So if you need to work together with other teachers, or in at the administrative level, for example, at the university, you can also use Mentimeter for those type of settings. We want you to have a better experience in your teaching and learning with your students. And Mentimeter is bringing then all of these tools that will help you have a better conversations and engagement with your students. You can also analyze further. You can download your results from Mentimeter and get to see, for example, some patterns or some trends that may help you close learning gaps, for example, between different groups or together in the same group. And you can scale as this is a collaborative platform too. So you can invite other teachers and educators like yourself to work together in the creation of materials, for example. I'm pretty much sure that one subject is not taught by only one person at the university. So maybe you can find common grounds where you can collaborate and have one single place where the content will be delivered. Very good. Now, I would also like to hear from you. If you would get a wish granted, what would you like to see in your class this semester? Maybe more students participating in your class, or better results in examinations, or getting meaningful conversations to improve your class? What would that be? Well, you cast your vote. Today, I want to see how you're casting those opinions. And I see that the majority would like to see more students participating and maybe getting meaningful feedback to improve your class. I get to hear this a lot from other professors, that many times they have a hard time understanding if their methods and their style and strategies are good enough, as they is not very often that the students share this feedback with them. So it's very interesting to see that you feel the same way. But overall, we see that the majority of you would like to see more students participating in class. And I believe that this is because you would have it as a good reference, right? To see if the knowledge is being passed the way you want it, and if all of the information is being understood actually by your students. Well, this is something that Mentimeter can help you with. With this tool, you can expect, first of all, the empowerment of audience voices. We know that not everybody has the same style of being an extrovert, right? And just sharing their opinions out loud. Many of our students are very shy, or they would rather not share their thoughts in front of the class, maybe because they don't think that the others think the same way. But for whatever reason, well, Mentimeter can allow for that space where every voice can be heard. You would also get the opportunity to improve learning outcomes, as you will be able to track for knowledge testing in a more immediate way. As you can see, it's very simple to just ask a question and get to see altogether the results, just to understand if we are more or less in the same page, or if we need to stop and maybe clarify in some parts of the lesson. And we can also promote, of course, a more inclusive and safe environment for sharing honest feedback. I'm pretty sure that you have experienced this, that you would like to hear if there are some parts of your class that could be improved but maybe the students feel that it's not safe to say so, or they would be scared of consequences if they say something that maybe others may not think the same way. And with Mentimeter, as it could be anonymous, they can absolutely share these thoughts with you. All right. So now that we know what Mentimeter is for and what can we expect with this tool, let's deep dive in some common challenges that we see among educators in this day and age. Which one would you say is the most challenging as part of your work? Maybe starting meaningful conversations with students, or understanding knowledge levels and closing gaps, or adapting maybe to different student needs. Cast your vote, and we'll see in a moment. One reason why I like to hide the results is to not create this bias. Many times we're inclined to see that if the majority is casting their vote in certain way, you feel inclined also to vote the same way and questioning your first instinct. So this is something that I always like to share with educators, that maybe by hiding it, the students or the audience itself will be more inclined to be honest with their own thoughts. Very good. We're beyond 50% of the participation. So let's get to see what is it that you struggled the most with. And here we see understanding knowledge level and closing gaps is probably the one that you struggled the most with. In the second place, adapting to different student needs. And this is also very common. I get to hear how nowadays you have to think about different ways of conveying the same lesson just to address the different ways of how students are learning today, right? Good, but let's stick then with understanding knowledge levels and closing gaps. As well, I'm sure that you experience now the introduction of AI as a regular tool in the daily life, not only for students, but for yourselves as educators, is also a very powerful tool that we have introduced in our life now, and it's becoming normal. So then it's very difficult to see or to trust, right, that we are sharing the right information, that the students are embracing that I'll have a pause as I'm sure that we have. Are we back?
I can hear you again.
Very
Can
well. I
everyone
think that we stopped for a second there.
Yeah. Can
All
everyone
right.
else in the chat hear us?
Thanks for the
Getting
confirmation. I
yeses.
see that
Perfect.
we're
Thank you, guys.
good, but you didn't miss anything. We were just wrapping up this conversation about how the struggle of not knowing, right? If the students are here with us in the lesson, and if whatever we are trying to convey is being embraced in the right way. But with Mentimeter, you can absolutely address these challenges and elevate then your teaching experience. Let's get to see how this exactly will happen. Let's start with turning presentations into conversations. In our question before, we were also mentioning if starting these meaningful discussions at the class may be also part of the struggle that we see as educators today. Well, one important reason why we should turn our presentations or monologues into conversations is because this will help us create conditions for inclusive and engaging environment. First of all, we will allow for all of these different views to be exposed, right? And maybe we will discover that the way others have understood the same lesson is something that I haven't think about or I haven't reflected on. So we can enrich in that way the knowledge and the understanding of the topics we're reviewing. We can also boost deep learning and critical thinking as, well, maybe AI will give us some shortcut to answers, but if we have a meaningful question to begin with, this is something that AI cannot respond if it's not about your own experience and how can you bring your own intuition and your own background into the answer. So by really provoking these questions into thinking beyond just a right or wrong answer, but just triggering this discussion, might help you also to enrich your teaching experience. We can also start a conversation by asking them this provocative question, and later we can discuss the results. As I said, not always we have to find the right answer, but we can discuss how we have conclude certain outcomes. Now I will show you some practical examples and some questions that maybe you have asked before in your classroom, or similar questions that you may post in the future, just to show you how some of the tools that we have at hand can help you turning then your presentations into conversations. And for that, I would like you to help me here by answering this question. What hidden barriers might prevent students from engaging in meaningful discussions? Based on your experience, why is it that students are not participating at class? Take a moment to reflect on this one. Maybe you had a class last semester, or you're about to start a new class. What is it that you find it as a barrier when students are asked to share their thoughts? Very well, let's see what your peers have shared. And as you can see, we have now a lot of answers. And I'm sure that you also struggle with this type of situations where you may have a very large audience in front of you, and then going one by one of these answers may take a lot of time, and you may not have a good overview of what is it really the sentiment in general. So for that, we have included some AI-powered features that I would like to show you now. So let's group these answers. Let's get to see what your peers are thinking about. Good, and now we have found 9 groups. The majority has talked about shyness, followed by boredom, for example, fear, lack of understanding, I see here. So if I would like to see more about what exactly did you guys said about shyness, I can click on it and zoom in these answers. So then we get to see that the majority, well, it's expressing about how shy it's a personality trait that may play a role, right, when it comes to participation in the class. So this is one cool trick that I would like to try, and we would love to hear your feedback later on how are you enjoying this AI grouping. For sure, it's going to give you a better overview of these questions, and it will help you find trends and certain patterns among the students or the audience that you're presenting to. All right, so we can always go back to all of the answers if we want to simply go here and see all of the results at once. Good. Thanks for sharing here. I think that the most of you feel the same way when it comes to the lack of understanding, or maybe they feel that the class is not engaging enough, and that's the reason why they cannot answer a question, right? If they haven't paid a lot of attention to it. And well, as you can see, I have now asked you a provocative question that comes from, or the answer will come from your own experience and your own thoughts. So it will be difficult to ask an AI to answer honestly to this and bringing some insights to the matter. Let's check another example. We can also discuss results, for example. And for this example, I would like you to help me to cast your vote here and let me know, how much weight should this criteria carry in the final evaluation of a course? Are we grading quality of work, maybe attendance and participation, or the results in standardized exams? And here is this type of question. It's not right or wrong. Simply, we would like to see how the audience feels about, and we can discuss the results at the end. Very good. Let's start seeing how are you responding. Quality of original work. Good. This is something that has come up several times now when I get to talk to educators, how the originality or the creativity in individual work may be a better reference, right, to see if the knowledge is being passed the correct way and to track really if the understanding is on the right direction. Good. As I said, this is not a right or wrong answer, but we can go deeper into this conversation. And then now I get to see that the majority thinks that quality of original work should carry higher weight in the evaluation. But then I would like to ask you a follow-up question on that. So please let me know what would be then that you would evaluate as a quality of work. What type of criteria would you consider in that originality, for example? Let's get to see how are you responding. Connection of personal experience or case studies at depth that AI cannot replicate. Good. So then from here, as you can see, we can discuss further the results and we get to hear deeper insights on wherever part of the conversation we want to zoom in. So this is a really cool way also to just have this conversation ongoing. And even if you feel that you may get stuck, simply ask another question. You may find it very insightful what your students and the audience have to say. All right. So we have now seen 2, 3 ways of how turning presentations into conversations. And well, another common challenge that we get to see among educators today is how to close learning gaps. In this group today, we heard that this is the one that you identify the most with by checking if the knowledge is being embraced the way you want it. Why is it important that we keep track of these learning gaps among our students? Well, we will be able to identify then topics where clarity is needed. If we simply put these questions, make it interactive, we will have immediate feedback on where is it that we are maybe stuck, or if we, on the other hand, are progressing at a very good pace, then maybe we can move a little bit quicker into our content in the class. We can turn learning also into a collaborative process. Now that we have so many digital tools that can help us shorten time in the time we spend in classes or in doing homework, by learning with others, peer-to-peer kind of learning, it's very, very insightful and valuable. It's a way where we can validate our knowledge and also enrich our point of view by hearing others. And we can also assess if there is a need to slow down or maybe speed up the pace of the class. This will save you a lot of time, and it will also make you feel that you have control of the course by knowing where we need to be. Let's check some examples on how we can use Mentimeter to close then learning gaps. This is one of my favorite questions to ask, and I'm on a quest of finding the best gardeners out there. So this is a question that has a right answer. So please assign values related to watering frequency and sunlight to the plants that you see on the screen. I will give you one clue, and is that the same order that you see the list of the plants is the same order for the images that you see on the left side of the screen. So the first plant is a Boston fern, the second is a spider plant, the third a peace lily, etc. So I would like to see if today we have good gardeners in the audience. Maybe yourselves have one of these plants or all of these plants and you know them. Let's get to see how are you responding and how good of a gardeners are you in this group today. It's always happened. I haven't found a group that shows another type of distribution, but you guys tend to cluster all of the plants in the center of the graph. Well, there is a right answer for this. And then if I was the teacher today and you were my students, I will have to uh, take a pause in the class and review again what is it that we need to consider in terms of water and sun for these plants, because we're very far away from the right answer. And I will show you what the right answer is. Our graph should have looked like something like this. So you can see that every plant has a different value for water and sun. And instead, we got something like this. So definitely, we need to review this topic again. Now, if I hover over, I can also see how's the distribution of this answer. So we get to see that the snake plant, for example, has all of the values from 0 to very high in terms of watering and in sunlight. So we definitely need to clarify on that. Good. Also, we have you with your mic on.
All
All
right,
right.
sorry.
No worries. Good. And this is also a good way where we can close learning gaps by just checking if the group is here together with us, if we are going at a right pace. And this question is intentional, as is going to help me also to assess my own presentation today. So I will not let you be biased. So please cast your vote and let me know what do you think about the tempo of this session so far. I'm always nervous about this question because nobody wants to see that we're going either too fast or too slow. But it's part of the teaching experience, right? To get this feedback, honest feedback from the audience, it's always really important, and that's the only way how we can improve. So let's get to see how I'm doing today. Oh, whew, thank God, we're doing very well. I get to see that the majority feels that we're going at a good tempo. And for those that think that we're going too fast, don't worry. You will get this recording at the end of the session, together with the slides if you need to listen to my beautiful voice again and maybe pause a little and check some of the slides at your own pace. You have the opportunity to do so. All right, so since the majority thinks that we are going kind of okay, we can continue with the next common challenge that we get to see with educators today. And that's about boosting flexible learning. I think that after the pandemic, we have all embraced and normalized different formats of teaching and learning, right? We don't work anymore just with the one-on-one type of sessions where we get to see a professor in front of us and we are in the same room at the same time, all together, just listening to whatever the professor needs to say today. We have now included other formats like remote sessions or hybrid models where some will be at the classroom, some others will be away, or even asynchronous where are more self-paced and then the student decides when and at what pace they want to learn. Mentimeter has also adapted to those needs and those type of formats in teaching and learning. And we have included what we call our asynchronous mode, where you can send out your Mentimeter and allow for interaction at any point in time as long as it's active. So we can use Mentimeter also in asynchronous teaching strategies. For example, maybe you have heard about some of this, like the flipped classroom or remote learning session on or in a standardized trainings, where, for example, there are right and wrong answers. And by doing it at your own pace, maybe after class or before the class, you can assess the knowledge prior and after the lesson, for example. This might be very helpful for you as a teacher. You can use feedback to plan ahead or reflect on the input provided by the students. So these are some ways of how we can use the survey mode in Mentimeter. And today I'm going to show you a few questions that maybe you want to explore in your own classroom. For example, this one. Let's imagine that all of you will be part of my class in this semester. So I would like to know which of the following aspects of the course that I will be the Mentimeter course, you feel that you require most effort from you. This will help me know where should I put more attention or how to adapt my teaching style so I met the majority's needs. We have here, for example, understanding key concepts and theories, maybe staying motivated throughout the course, managing your time effectively for assignments and studying. Think about yourselves as students. I'm sure that not long ago you were also students, so think about that, or maybe bring the impersonate your current students, and what is it that you can see that they struggle the most. Very well. Let's start seeing what your peers are saying. I see that the majority may be struggling more with the management of time. And I think that that's also something that students today struggle with. And if we hover over, we see that also understanding key concepts and theories have a good distribution here in the high effort side of them of the graph. So maybe this is something that you as a teacher would also like to consider. But okay, let's work with this average. And then if I get to know from the very beginning of my course that the management of time is something that you struggle with, then I'll make sure maybe to have a very clear structure of what's going to happen and what's expected from you as a student in every session, and just have clarity on when exams are happening, when do you need to deliver certain assignments, etc., etc. Maybe this can help you better with the time management. Good. So this is a question that can come at the very beginning of your course and can help you design it in a better way. Another example here. For example, let's imagine that now we have done our Menti course for the semester and we are just about 2 weeks before the final exam. But you will have the opportunity still to have your last lesson with me. So what would you like us to focus on just before the exam? Maybe reviewing questions from previous exams, or explaining key theories and concepts, or maybe sharing tips for writing high scoring answers. What do you think that will be more helpful to work with just before the exam? Let's get to see how your peers are responding. And the majority is looking more towards tips for writing high scoring answers. Of course, everybody wants to get it right? And maybe there is, I'm sure that there are ways where how we can design winning answers here. So then if I get to know this before our lesson, then I'll make sure that I prepare the class to address this topic in particular to help you prepare better for success before the exam. So in this way, as you can see, the lesson and the course all together has become a collaborative effort where not only it's the teacher deciding on everything, but the students will actively participate and be owners also of their learning journey. All right, so these are some examples on how can you use or what type of questions you can share on an asynchronous mode that can help you improve your teaching and learning experience together with your students. Now the moment of truth has come, and I don't want you to leave without feeling that a Mentimeter is for you. So we will get out of this screen and let's go for a quick demo on how to use Mentimeter. So for those that is your first experience with the tool, you will have the opportunity to discover and work with us our first slide. Very well. So this is how Mentimeter looks like in the editor mode. So as you can see, I have all of my slides on the left side of the screen. And here we are, right, in this the slide number 24, a user-friendly tool. Now let's work together and have a slide created with you. You see on the top of the screen a black button that says New Slide. And if I click on that one, you'll get to see that I get first a block of options, which is what we call our interactive questions. This means that this type of slides require input from the audience. So they will either cast the vote or share some answer, a typing answer, for example, in an open-ended question. So something will have to come from the audience, and you're expecting their participation here. You see that we have different type of slides here, and we can measure different things. You have seen a good selection of these slides today with me. You can also create quiz competitions, and here is to award points to the right answers and the quickest answers submitted. This will give us a leaderboard, and this is mostly to rank answers and to get to know who's, let's say, the best in the class today. You have also seen in this presentation today that I had slides where I didn't need your input, right? These are my content slides. You have seen a few with text, with images. We can also upload videos, or we can have a quick sort of like a slide to share the information to join to Mentimeter. And I know that many of you work also with other tools. So Mentimeter has also the opportunity to have integrations, for example, with Google Slide or PowerPoint or Miro. You can bring materials from these tools into Mentimeter. All right, so let's do together a word cloud, for example. For those who were not with us at the very beginning, we had also a word cloud as a first question, just while we were waiting for this webinar to start. So let's create another one. And I will actually use the opportunity to ask you, in one word, how would you describe this webinar? And as quick as that, I have my question written directly on the screen. And here is where your answers will come. I can control for the number of answers that you can submit. We can have unlimited, but maybe that's not necessary today. So let's say 2. You can send 2 responses per person. And I don't want you to see these answers live because, as I said, I prefer not to create a bias. So I will let you input your answers. They will be hidden for the audience until I show them for everyone. All right, and as quick as that, I can now present this slide immediately, and you will get to see it in your screens. So if you come back to the Menti as we were, you can now answer this question. Very good. Let's get to see if I'm getting good reviews today. Oof, yes. Good. We love to see this. Informative, interesting, useful. You get to see that there are some words that are in a smaller size, and that's because they have less repetitions. So those that are have more iterations then will appear bigger in the screen. Thanks for this. I will take it with me, and it's always really nice to get to see your feedback in an immediate way. This helps us a lot to improve in future sessions. So thank you for casting your vote. All right. And just before we go into your questions, I see that we have 7 right here, and we will open and respond them in a moment. I would like to ask you, after today's session, how do you feel about using Mentimeter in the future? Maybe you're still unsure if this fits your work, or you are interested, but maybe you need more support, or you feel more confident about how to use it in your daily job, or you feel very excited and plan to use it more. Let me know. And here I would like to get a lot of answers because I'm going to show you another cool trick that a lot of educators appreciate, as it's a very much data-driven approach that I know that many of you like to include in your lessons. So let's give it another few seconds. Maybe if we get half of the audience casting a vote, then I'll show you this really cool trick. Two more people. If we get to 60, then I'll get to show you. Come on, work with me. There we have it. All right, so let's see how you feel today. Good. I see that the majority, it's rather positive about using Mentimeter. And now I will add segmentation to these results. So if I hover over the left side of the screen, I will uncover a hidden menu. If I get to click here where I see show segmentation, I will be able to choose another multiple choice question and see the segmentation of these answers. So I will take the first question that I asked you at the beginning of this session, which is, what is your experience with Mentimeter? And now I get to see, for example, those who are here as their first experience, the majority feel interested, but they will need more support. So that's really good to know. At least I didn't make you less interested in Mentimeter, and those are good news. Let's see, for example, those have used it a few times. We also see a lot of positive answers, and we can look the same for those who have only been a participant. So this is really nice to see because you can then group your answers and check trends by grouping your audience and how they are responding. So thank you so much for casting your vote. I get to see that for those especially that are not very used to using Mentimeter, today they are feeling more positive. And if you need more resources, I will leave this information here for you. We have prepared our help center, which is a very vast catalog of articles that describe every single feature that we have in Mentimeter. So every single type of slide and what this button do and the other do, you will find it in our help center. If you want to know how other educators or other industries are using Mentimeter, you can visit our blog, and there you will find some stories and testimonials on how Mentimeter is used around the world. If you feel that you need a little bit more inspiration or you want to have get started very quickly, we have prepared a whole bunch of templates that you can visit, and there you will find everything from quizzes, polls, type of surveys. Maybe that will help you to get inspired and find how others are asking questions to find certain outcomes. And of course, you can always get technical support at this email, hello@mentimeter.com, or in your editor mode, you will find right here on the down corner of your screen a black bubble where you can find the chat with tech support. So you can always find us, and we're happy to help you and make your Mentimeter journey way easier. All right, so we're very good in time to get to see your questions. And if there is something that we are not in time to respond, we'll make sure that we share this information too. So let's get to see. How do you use the AI function and what happens with the data? Really good question. So we work with OpenAI, which is our service provider for AI. And we work under the regulations of the European Union, which means that the data is protected, personal data is protected in that way. How we use it is to simply get or gather the input, the answers that you have shared with us. And the AI will find, as you saw today, patterns to group by topics. Thanks for that question. You can enable your AI functions in your workspace settings. Good. Let's get to see the next one. I make very nice PowerPoint presentation with the Morph tool. I tried to import the presentations I made from PowerPoint, but they lost that niceness. Is there a better way to link to PowerPoint? You can also bring Mentimeter to PowerPoint if that works better. I mean, if you want to keep PowerPoint as your main tool, we have an integration. You need to have an add-in, and also you can help us by putting the article too very well on the chat, where you can find how to install this add-in and how to bring then material from Mentimeter to your PowerPoint. Then you can keep all of these features that this tool gives you. If I do icebreakers, would it be better to make them more fun so more students participate, or more related to course material to achieve more depth? Oh, this is a really cool question. I think that you can kind of merge both of these objectives. It takes a lot of creativity though, to get to know your audience also. Maybe different students or different subjects are more inclined to certain type of communication than others. But what I have found is that an icebreaker usually, when it's related to the topic or the subject that we are going to discuss, kickstarts that relatability and kind of brings people together into not only what the topic will be, but also how they are involved in this lesson. So my recommendation will be then to think about how the icebreaker will be related to the following topics, and also kind of consider the audience that you have in front of you. For example, today I don't get to know any of you personally, or maybe yes, but I don't get to see your faces, right? So then I rather go for an icebreaker that is relatable or could be relatable for everybody, where you feel that you have something to say. Today we ask, for example, what university you are representing. That's something that I'm sure the audience is also interested into knowing. Good. Can Menti be used to survey employers or partners' experience of courses and support provided, like a TripAdvisor type of review? You can absolutely design a survey, and you can send it in an asynchronous mode, for example, if you want them to answer at their own pace. Or if, for example, you want to make sure, this is a cool trick that I get to see in some teachers that have implemented. If you want to make sure that the class today gives their input, then before you go, put this Menti on the screen, and you'll get to see also how much of the audience that is present is already answering, and you get to know immediately what the feedback is. So either or, if you want a live presentation, you can have this type of survey to get some grading or rating of your class or the content that you presented, or you can also send it on an asynchronous way. Would you be explaining how to create attendance list in Mentimeter to track attendance? Oh, this is a good question. Well, today we didn't explore how to remove anonymity, but if I think I will have a moment to show you that. And well, this is a feature that is for our pro and enterprise customers. So you have to have this type of license, where you will then activate the option to collect participants' names. Then when you retrieve the results, you will be identifying by name how the audience responded. I will keep it in a moment just to see if we have a time to demo this part. And if not, Austria can send in the chat the link on how to gather names in Mentimeter. If anonymous, then the survey can be skewed when the same person joins multiple devices. Although this is not a serious problem, when engagement is the primary focus, it can also be an advantage. Good. We also have some sort of lock in the tool just to prevent this to happen. So we can ask or put the setting in the survey mode so one device can only cast one vote. And that I can show you really quickly. So if we were to make this presentation a survey, I will simply go to the little ball that is right next to the title of the presentation. Today we're in a presentation mode because it's live. But if I were to turn it a survey, then I can allow either for multiple submissions per device or not. What you ask, I assume that you don't want that to happen, so we will leave it off. All right. So we have now, let's go back to our presentation mode. Good. The use of AI is very cool. Does the clustering also works with the word cloud? Actually, yes. And we can get to see with the word cloud that you shared with me last time. Oh, actually not. I'm sorry for that information, but now we have discovered that it doesn't work for the word cloud. So it's open-ended only. Good. Which facilities you covered today are free? Which do you have to pay for? Good. So, for example, the anonymity that to remove anonymity, you will need to have a paid subscription. But the good thing about Mentimeter is that the majority of the things that we have shown today are actually accessible for all type of licenses. So you're very welcome to explore them, and I'm sure that what we covered today will help you also if you are working on a free license. However, if you are in a university, you can also reach out to us, and we can see if your university is also interested into making Mentimeter accessible for your community. Let us know. Good. Can you please provide more free webinars like this one? I have really enjoyed and benefited from. Oh, good to hear. We love to hear that. And we're always working to try to get this offer as accessible as possible. You're welcome to visit our YouTube channel where we get to put all of our materials like this one. And also visit our blog. As I said before, we have also the templates if you need more inspiration to get from. And I'm sure that the community of peers today will have also more examples to share. Thanks for this comment. Good. Is Mentimeter better in live sessions or in online sessions? Well, I hope that both. And today, for example, we have online, and I get to see a really cool engagement. I got very good insights from the audience. So I would say that it works very nicely on an online format. In live sessions, I also believe that it brings a lot of the energy of the audience by bringing this experience into the collective. It's experiencing a different way. So I would encourage you to try them in both and also give us your feedback. What do you think that works best for you? Live sessions or online? All right. We have some issues with participants seeing what we see. Therefore, we can see the QR code. Is there a tip on this? You mean if we can hide? If we can hide or show our QR code, that will be very easy to do. It's just with the letter, we have a shortcut in the keyboard, which will be the letter I. If I press it, I can hide or show the QR code. Then you will get to see the content. I don't know if that was the question, but let us know in the chat or just send me another question if so. All right. Does uploading PowerPoint or bringing Menti into PowerPoint slow down a presentation? It shouldn't be the case, definitely. We have seen our customers and professors using it both ways. And so far, we haven't heard that the presentation goes slower. How do you use the AI function and what happens with the data? I think that we have responded this one already. Oh, yes, answer. Oh, so lucky us. We do have a moment to explain how it's not really to create an attendance list, but it's to use the removing of the anonymity to help you track attendance. So I will mark it as answer and I will show it now. All right, so if I go to my editor mode, well, right now I already have results, so I won't be able to do it, but I can show you in a new presentation. I think that I need to share again this. Let's go for this. All right. So to remove the anonymity in Mentimeter, now I have created a whole new slide. So let's start from scratch. Let's say that I will have a text type of slide, just writing anything. And if I go to my tab that it's called Interactivity on the right side of the screen, there I will have the option to activate participants' name are required. Then I can toggle on, and then you, the audience, will need to enter your name before participating in this Menti session. I can also make these names visible to you, to the audience, or hide them. Then I will only be able, me as the presenter, will be the only one who can see the names of the participants when I get to download the results right here in this other tab. We can show you how this will be prompted to the students, let's say. So as you can see, they will be informed before they enter that their name is requested to join this session. Then we can write here our names. All right, very good. So I will go back just to my presentation to leave you the results, the resources where you can find more information if that's what you need. And well, we're reaching the end of this webinar today. And I would only like to say thank you so much for joining and for sharing also your votes and being very engaged today. Please don't hesitate to visit our resources and just let us know how we can help you. We will be very happy to hear that we are part of your fall semester now that the classes are kind of starting for some of you or have started already. Good luck in the new semester, and well, we are here to help you. Thank you.
Thanks so much, everyone. Bye bye.